is now over. Please, no more deliveries. If you'll hold up on your practice and cycle your pin setter back to the first ball setting, we'll get you going in your competition. Just a reminder, bowling fans, the use of flash photography during competition is strictly prohibited. As well, the tile area belongs to our athletes and competitors in the tournament. At no time should spectators or coaches be down in the tile area. The carpeted area belongs to you, the spectators and coaches. Bowlers, just a reminder, at the ends of, or before you begin games 2, 4, and 6, you'll need to reverse your arrows before you start games 2, 4, and 6. Athletes, just a reminder about score sheet responsibility. Make sure you fill out your score sheet completely. You sign it and bring it to the tournament office at the completion of competition today. Okay, looks like we have a full set of pins on the deck. We have scoring arrows up. Bowling fans, how about a great setup for round 4 qualifying this year's Team USA Team Trials. Thank you and good luck, bowlers.
Good morning and welcome back to Bowl TV for the 4th round of women's qualifying at the 2016 United States Bowling Congress Team USA Trials. We're coming to you live from Gold Coast Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. I am Aaron Smith. We'll be here all day with both men's and women's coverage. This is a 6-game block once again. And competitors are on the 34-foot Stockholm World Bowling Lane condition. So we'll get you a quick recap of who's joining us here on our featured pairs, as well as a recap of round number 3. Take a look at our daily and overall leaders. And we'll be right back. So thanks again for joining us here on Bowl TV, and relax, sit tight, and enjoy some of the best bowling and best bowlers from across the country. Okay, joining us on 35 and 36, that is the pair to your left on the screen, is Shannon O'Keefe, Shannon Bluhowski, and Sarah Schulz. I see Sarah up on 36 right now and leaves the 6 pin in the second frame. Over on 37 and 38, We have Erica Schneider, who will be up on 37 in a moment. Caitlin Cunningham, who's stepping up on 38 right now, just a little bit off screen. And Jacqueline Evans. So for a full recap of who will be coming to our live stream pairs, be sure to check out the lane assignments, which are already posted at bowl.com/Team USA Trials. Click on the 2016 results and you'll find all the information you'll ever need right there, including standings. So when we finished up yesterday on the 44-foot Tokyo pattern, Stephanie Johnson continued to hold on to the lead for a wire-to-wire performance in round 3, posting a 14.28 total to lead for the day. Kelly Kulik moved into second with 13.82. Danielle McEwen in third, 13.66. Stephanie Schwartz was fourth with 13.51, and Shannon O'Keefe rounded out the top 5 with 13.39. Looking at our overall standings, once again, Team Trials works a little different than other tournaments where total pinfall is important for the day, but for the overall standings, it's where you place for the 6-game block. So Stephanie Johnson finished first yesterday, so she received 1 point. Shannon O'Keefe finished 5th. She received 5 points. And when all 5 rounds of qualifying are done, you want to have the lowest score possible. So that is the goal. And Danielle McEwen, currently through 3 rounds, holds that distinction with a total of 12. So she finished 7th in the first round, 2nd in the second round, and 3rd in the third round to get to that number. Jordan Richard of Tipton, Michigan, is sitting in second with 20 points. Jordan, already a member of Junior Team USA in 2016 based on her performance at the 2015 Junior Gold Championships. Stephanie Johnson moved into 3rd with her performance yesterday with a total of 28. Shannon O'Keefe jumped into 4th with 36. And we have a tie for 5th place. Taylor Boltice of Coral Springs, Florida, and Ashley Dunn of Palmdale, California. Both are at 38 points. With the shorter patterns, and 34 feet definitely qualifies as that. We'll generally see players closer to the gutter, so definitely a little excitement watching folks just pitch the ball out that way and watch it bounce back. So that is the preferred line on shorter patterns. Definitely a little bit of risk reward, though, if you miss a little bit too far right. Because those gray boards do not hook. I know from experience. pace here during the women's qualifying blocks have gone a little bit quicker, but they have less on a pair compared to the guys this week. So in most cases, it's just 3 on a pair. A few of them have 4, so it does go pretty quick here once again for anyone just joining us here for the first time this week at Team Trials. That there will be a slight break after each game. They let everyone finish up and everyone starts at the same time. We talked to the managing director, national governing body, Neil Stremmel, yesterday for a little bit on Bowl TV. And Neil answered some questions and kind of let everyone know that this event tries to mimic international competition as much as possible. So those very big World Bowling events, these are very similar to the format and how competitors can prepare their equipment and attack just the whole spectrum. So during that break, players are allowed to change the ball surface if they feel necessary. So they need to get out the Abralon pads or do whatever. It is within the rules. Tough break for Shannon Bluchowski, our round 2 leader. Staring down at 6-8 after 3 strikes in a row. So far, every day at the Team Trials has been on a different world bowling pattern. As we mentioned, today is the 34-foot Stockholm condition. The 2016 event kicked off with the 37-foot Melbourne pattern, which is brand new as of January 1st. So that was the first time pretty much anyone has had the opportunity to see that. Day 2 is the 40-foot Athens. We saw the scoring pace a little bit lower on that condition, and then scores jumped up yesterday on the 44-foot Tokyo pattern. A lot of speculation that the Stockholm will result in the highest scores, and we've seen that in the past with shorter patterns, and we'll see how today unfolds right here live on Bowl TV. And then Thursday's final qualifying round will be on our longest pattern of the week, the 45-foot Rome condition. Good bounce back by Shannon O'Keefe after a few opens in the 6th and 7th frame. Responds with the double. Sarah Schulz working on 4 in a row, getting ready for the 9th. As Shannon Pluhowski leaves back-to-back 7 pins after that 6-8. Make it a 5-bagger for Schulz. Trying to get out of the gate strong here. Day number 4. Tenth frame underway on 35 and 36. Shannon O'Keefe delivers another strike to make it 3 in a row. And another 7-pin for Pluhowski. Nice shot by Jackie Evans over on 38. To set up the 10th frame. Nice finish for Shannon O'Keefe to salvage 191. That game could have gotten away from her, but showing off that Team USA experience that she's had for so many years now. Bouncing back strong. 199 for Shannon Pluhowski. Schulz trips the 4, keeps it going for 6 in a row. Erica Schneider kicking off the 10th frame over on 37 and 38. Comes in a little bit light, and never want to see that 2-8-10. Sarah Schulz finishes up with a 2:37. A report from the crowd. Jordan Richard, who was in second place overall, starting off big with 2:79. Nice conversion of the washout by Jacqueline Evans. She can still get to 180. Looks like we have to get the 2:10 reset on 38. So Erica will finish with 180. Evans finishes with 177, and Caitlin Cunningham will finish off game number 1 for us. Cunningham coming from Honolulu, Hawaii, delivers a strike to kick things off. Nice shot. All right, last shot of game 1 here on our featured pairs. Caitlin Cunningham looking for 3 in a row to get to 159 and delivers. She looks all set for next game. And that will do it for game number 1 here on our featured pairs. Game number 2 coming up next. Once again, we will wait for everyone to finish up, so looking around us, a few folks still in the 10th frame, so as soon as they wrap up, everyone gets to their new lanes. We'll all start at the same time with game number 2. So once again, thanks for joining us here on Bowl TV for the 4th round of women's qualifying at the 2016 Team USA Trials. We'll be right back. All right, folks, we are ready for game number 2, and we are joined by a special guest. Joining us in the Bowl TV broadcast booth is our men's overall leader through 3 rounds, Mr. Jeff Fair. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning. Good morning, Bowl TV land.
Jeff has already spent some time in front of the cameras, and he's averaging about 282 so far this week, I want to say. But that might be an exaggeration, but it seems like you have 6 in a row every time. And obviously that's why you're near the top of the standings. So, Jeff, you're here bright and early. You sound like you're already ready to hit the lanes for day 4.
I am. Definitely wanted to get down here early this morning. I came down here as well on Monday morning when we bowled late and the women bowled in the morning. I think it's very beneficial to watch the ladies start. So I can get a read on where they're playing the break point, and it gives me a vantage point to where I'm going to be able to start the pattern. Obviously, the women have less rev rate than the men's field does, but it gives you a good idea of where we're going to start. After a couple games, the 2 fields look completely different, but the start it's not entirely different.
And of course, that worked pretty well for you 2 days ago as you led the men's squad in round 2 and got that, not only got that nice trophy, but you got that 1 point, which is definitely big here with the way the team trial scoring system works. So might as well make it 2 for 2, right?
Absolutely. That was huge. The second day, they definitely played tough. They got really tricky in the middle of the block. And I like the lanes when they get nasty, so I would much prefer the scores to be a little bit lower. I feel like I can manipulate the lane as good as most people, so I like when you have to make a good shot to strike and string some strikes. So today the scores look like they're going to be a little bit higher. But I did feel comfortable in practice, so I'm ready to go out there and strike a lot.
All right, we're joined by Jeff Fair, who's put on a great performance so far at the 2016 Team USA Trials. He'll be bowling a little bit later tonight when the men hit the lanes. This is game 2 of 6 for the women's block here on the 34-foot Stockholm pattern. We'll get a quick rundown of the lineups. Joining us on 35 and 36, we have Sarah Locker, Trista Flowers, and Leela Yea. And over on 37 and 38, Dan and Terry, Angelica Anthony, and Adele Warner.
There were some nice scores the first game. Stephanie Schwartz had a 299. Jordan Richards had a 279. I don't know if the scores are up yet. Kelly Kulik had the first 7. There they are.
Yeah, we do have scores up, and just as Jeff said, the first 3 ladies he mentioned are 1, 2, 3 in the standings right now. Stephanie Schwartz, 299. Jordan Richard, 279. Kelly Kulik finished up with 268. Ashlyn Herzberg of Wichita, Kansas, 256. And Danielle McEwen, who's joined you at the top of the overall standings the past 2 days, is in 5th with 247.
Danielle is bowling incredible right now. She's been on a fantastic run, bowling against the women and against the men. Had a very successful few months. I'm seeing a lot of different bowling balls being thrown out here. There's definitely a lot of urethane being used early. I know Kelly was throwing urethane, and so was Jordan Richard. And then you had Stephanie Schwartz. Somebody told me that she was throwing a pretty aggressive ball with surface on it. So, and I know Stephanie Johnson, she had 239, and she's throwing a paradox, which is very aggressive. So you're seeing the whole gamut out here as far as a ball motion from the low end on the pitch black side to the high end of the on the paradox. So very, very interesting to see the ball choices and how they're attacking them. Most of the women are going pretty straight, which is what I expected outside of 5. Um, but I did hear that Stephanie Schwartz was playing around 10 to 5. So she's created something a little bit different shape than most of the other women are doing, and was pretty successful that first game. We'll see how that goes after that first game.
I would say so. 299, great way to get out of the gates. Plus 99, and yeah, it's pretty tough for anyone to be ahead of you at that point. So
yes.
that's all right. So Jeff, question in the chat for you. Just someone's curious, what was the equipment of choice yesterday on the 44-foot Tokyo pattern?
So yesterday I started with a lock. Had a pretty good cross to start the first game. I was paired with Ronnie Russell and Chris Barnes, and we broke the lanes down pretty well. We played a little bit farther right than I saw most of the people playing the pattern, and that allowed us to open the lanes up a little bit. And I was fortunate enough to shoot 240 the first game and kind of get things moving in the right direction. From there, I was following Anthony Simonson, and the next pair hooked about 10 more. So the lock had to go away after that, and went to the IQ Tour from there, and ended up switching to the Eternal Cell for the last 3 games. And I've thrown the Eternal Cell the back half of the blocks every day, and that's looking to be a special ball this week, and it looks fantastic. So it's matching up really well, and I've been able to manipulate the roll on it to match up on all 3 of the patterns. So it's been a good one for me.
Now, Jeff, when I've talked to you the few times in the interviews after leading the squad, you mentioned how trying to keep up with the young kids nowadays. You're not that old though.
34.
34.
So
You're just a kid.
I feel old in this field. So I would imagine that there aren't 20 people older than me in the men's field. I think we were naming off names a couple of days ago, and I don't know if there's 20 people older than me in the field out of the 175 men. So I don't feel old, but I'm definitely one of the more experienced bowlers in the men's field, for sure.
Experienced, that's a better term. We like that.
Yes.
You're
yes.
the veteran of the field here at the Team USA Trials. And it's kind of funny you mentioned that, though, and another thing we talked about was this is the first time you've bowled this event in about 15 years or so. So
correct.
It was a matter of just kind of timing with everything working out, and so far you've taken advantage of that.
Yep. Trying to take advantage of the opportunities that are presented, and so far I've done that. I have 2 more solid days ahead of me, and just need to stay patient and make all of my spares. That's been huge this week. I haven't missed any single pins. I've only missed 3 spares, 2 chops, and a washout. So staying clean and making spares has been absolutely crucial. So that's where the experience comes in. You really need to bear down and make the spares, and then get the strikes when they are coming. But a key game for me yesterday was the 3rd game. I already mentioned that I had to 240 the first game and went to that second pair that hooked so much more, and had 3 splits for 190, and moved down to the high end, and I threw 4 different bowling balls the first 6 frames.
Oh wow.
The pair was a lot tighter on the back end, and but I was clean. So I made a bucket, a couple of 2/8s, stayed clean those first 6 frames, and then made a good ball choice going to the IQ and struck out for 230. So that was crucial to keep me going in the right direction, and then bowled a nice last 3 at 690 the last 3. So that was very key, making those spares and not digging myself a hole.
And that's another thing that you and I talked about just throughout the course of the week, especially as tight as the standings get towards, especially the end of the block, how much a spare could possibly cost you as far as the ranking points. And when everyone's that close and that tight, I mean, the day you led going into that final game, there was about 40 pins between you and the guy in 20th going into that final game.
Absolutely.
So that could easily drop you 5 or 6 spots, and in the end, with as quickly as those points can get away, definitely a huge thing to avoid those mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. I was on a double yesterday in the last game going into the 10th frame. Didn't throw it great. Got the 3-6-10. If I would have struck out, I would have moved up 5 spots in the rankings for the day. And I think if I would have missed the 3-6-10, it would have cost me another 3 or 4 spots. So, I mean, there was about a 10 spot difference between striking out and opening just one frame. So it can change very quickly in this format to where your standings are. So that's why it's absolutely huge to make the best shot you can. If you don't strike, make those spares.
Once again, we are joined by Jeff Fair, who's put on a great performance here at the 2016 Team USA Trials. Jeff has been the overall leader for the last 2 rounds and preparing to tackle the Stockholm pattern. He's trying to get an idea of what's working, and seen some ball choices out here from the ladies. And Jeff, you mentioned you saw probably a little bit more urethane than you originally expected. Is that something? I know that's been kind of a trend, kind of a little bit bigger trend in the past 2 or 3 years. Is that something you like to go to in your bag, or is that not as much?
I do have a urethane ball out here. I brought a pitch black with me. Unfortunately, that was one of the 4 balls that did not get here. They were late getting here. I didn't get them until Monday, so I didn't get to practice with it. I felt pretty comfortable throwing the midline reactive bowling balls, a high road and a rocket. But Kelly might have changed my mind, at least for the start of practice. I'll definitely be bringing the pitch black out and throwing a few with it and seeing how that looks. So if I definitely want to keep all of my options open and keep an open mindset and let the lanes dictate what I do. So Sarah Loker's she has a nice start here with the front 5. Looks like she's throwing a reactive bowling ball.
Does appear to be so. Can't quite tell what it is from here, but yeah, she's had a good look. Probably a little bit further left than some of the girls we've seen so far, but
yeah, that last one looked like it crossed the arrows around 7 or 8, but her break point was around 3. So most of the girls, no matter where they're starting the ball, their break point's at 1, 2, 3.
Certainly a high risk, high reward way to attack the lanes, and makes it 6 for 6. Sarah, past member of Junior Team USA. A past member of Team USA back in 1981 was your father, Jeff, Mr. Steve Fair, USBC Hall of Famer.
Absolutely. I'm trying to follow in his footsteps. He was able to compete internationally. He bowled in Winnipeg and won 2 gold medals and a silver medal. And he always likes to remind me that he should have won a 4th gold medal as well. They didn't have an all events medal at the time, and he said he led by 300 or 400 pins in all events. So it's 3 medals and an asterisk.
It's an unofficial gold, but
yes,
I'm not surprised to hear that, though, for him leading by that much. There's certainly a reason why he's in the Hall of Fame, as is your mother. So that's some pretty great bloodlines you're coming from here.
My mother and father were both fantastic bowlers. They're still bowling today, not competitively anymore, but they still bowl in a couple of leagues together back in Cincinnati, and still very much a part of in the bowling industry. Dad still has a pro shop in Cincinnati, so definitely the family is ingrained in the bowling community in Cincinnati and the United States.
Now, what was it like growing up in a household like that with such? Was there extra pressure? Was it just something that just naturally came to you, or how did that kind of work?
Yeah, they never forced me to bowl. They kind of left it up to me, and I enjoyed doing it. I was pretty good at a young age, so I think it's like anything. If you're good at something, you like to do it. So it definitely had some advantages with my father owning a pro shop, to where I had access to just equipment that other kids may not. But I enjoyed doing it, and feel like the game has been good to me, and I'm trying to give back to the game as well. So I think we need more people to do that, to make this sport flourish and be more successful.
Now, Jeff, we had you guys live stream during your Open Championships appearance last year in El Paso, Texas, and I'm not sure if you got a chance to watch that, or we might have talked to you a little bit while you were in town, but my counterpart here in the booth usually is Matt Cannizzaro.
Yes.
And there's a story of a super hoinky event a few years back where you two met up, I believe, in the round of 8 or so.
We did.
And the way Matt describes it, I've heard the story so many times. It was like he was bowling you, and he had Lucas in his corner, and you had half the center cheering for you, and then it was the whole center versus Lucas cheering for you, and then all of a sudden the mayor was there and the whole city, and it just gets kind of out of hand after a while.
Yeah, it was Matt and Lucas against Cincinnati, and Matt pulled it out. He bowled a very good game. If I remember correctly, I believe I had the chance to shut him out, or I at least had the chance to make him strike out to beat me, and I threw the first strike in the 10th and didn't throw a good one in the second one and split. And I believe he needed to go 9 spare strike to beat me, and he threw a good shot, very good shot in the 10th frame and struck. So it was very good under the pressure. He threw a great pitch with not very many people rooting for him, so it was a high pressure situation, and he came through. So not one of my best moments, but I'm glad that it's living on. The story's living on.
It's living on. Yes, that's definitely a story he likes to break out from time to time, and he ended up finishing second that year to Jason Queen, another phenomenal bowler and past Masters champion. Yes.
Jason's a heck of a bowler. Him and I believe him and Tom Adcock just won the holiday doubles over the right before Christmas. So he's still bowling well.
Tom Adcock, a very good player. He's a senior player now.
Yep.
He's finally reached that 50 mark. I believe he's captured a PBA 50 title, possibly not as a member. I'm not sure if he's got his card, but I think maybe a doubles event.
Okay.
And then, but yeah, he's won an eagle or two as well. So
yeah, heck
definitely
of a bowler.
He's
He's
bowler.
won the Peterson Classic. So anybody that's won the Peterson Classic, you're a pretty darn good bowler. That takes a lot of skill to win that. You have to make a lot of spares when it takes around a 200 average for 8 games to win that. You have to be very, very good.
It's very, very true. Sarah Locker's run of strikes ended at 7, unable to get the 10 pin out here, but still going to have a shot to put up a big game here. And it looks like you might need 1 or 2 to get as few points as possible on this 34-foot pattern.
Yeah, where is she at in the standings, total standings?
Let's see. Well, for her first game here was 168, so a little bit rough coming out of the gates.
This will definitely help her.
And then overall coming into the day, She was 43rd overall, tied for
Okay.
43rd, so definitely needs
She's getting better
2
every
strong
day.
days.
Yes.
But yeah, that's the case. 75th to kick it off, 45th 2 days ago, 19th yesterday. So, but may need 2 big days here to earn her way to represent the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, it looks like Danielle is well on her way to representing the red, white, and blue again. 12 points after 3 days is outstanding. She's off to another nice start today, so I would expect her to bowl very well. She's just off to the left here. I can see she has at least a triple. Looks like she's playing right up 1-2 with a urethane ball. She's left the mixer 7. She's on 230 pace. So.
Oh, she's been on that all week though. So
yeah, that's her average for the week. So I think she had 240 the first game, so she's right at that 240 clip. So it's always nice to get out to a good start, quick start when you're in the lead. Take a little bit of the pressure off, and hoping to do that today. So like to go out and shoot at least a 240 or 250 to start, and get relaxed, get comfortable, and just let things happen and read the ball motion and go from there. Great pitch there by Sarah.
Bounces back nicely. She'll have a shot at 279 here. Looking around, nothing. Sarah's kind of the standout scorer so far, at least from our vantage point here behind lanes 35 through 38. Nothing too crazy. Danielle McCune probably the next biggest score that we can see from here.
Yeah, it looks like the scores are kind of falling off, which I mean, I think the lanes are going to get tricky with some people throwing urethane and some throwing reactive. It's going to create a little bit more hang out, carrying the oil down with the urethane balls, and the reactive balls aren't going to bounce off of the gutter near as much. And I think the same, it's probably going to be more magnified on the men's side. So it's expect pretty high scores. I'm sure that there will be a couple of very high scores, people that match up well and have a good day. But I think they're just going to be tricky, and you're definitely going to need to manage the lane with the different ball surfaces going down there all throughout practice, and at least the first couple of games.
Now, Jeff, obviously you guys are making pretty big jumps here from game to game, and have you had the opportunity to scout pairs, or has it kind of been just finishing up, get to the next one, and haven't been able to see, or is it just?
I try to. After I get done each game, I try to get to the next pair as quick as I can to maybe catch a shot or two of the people bowling in front of me to see. But it just depends on who's bowling in front of you. Yesterday, it seemed like the guys that we were following were bowling a little bit slower than us, so I got to see them bowl the 10th frames most of the games. So that definitely helps going to the next pair, seeing a few shots go down there, see where they're crossing at the arrows, where their break point is. Oh, bad break there. 7-10 for Sarah.
Super tough break. Still had a shot at 279 going into the 10th, and that's that's not where you want to see that. Over on 37 and 38, Dan and Terry are already in the books at 182. Adele Warner at 162. Angelica Anthony can still get to 212. She steps up on 37.
Very nice. Double, gets a 2-0 there. One more for 2-team. Look on 33 and 4 over here, Jordan Richard. She just doubled in the 10th for 160. She had 279 the first game, so They're definitely not easy pair to pair. It's crucial to throw good shots the first and second frame so you can get a read on the lanes. Yesterday when I came to the live stream pair on 37 and 8, I made really good shots on both lanes. 37, I left the 9-pin. 38, I went runaway Brooklyn and left the 5-pin. So it was making those good shots the first two. It allowed me to adjust. I just needed to move a board left on 37 off of the 9-pin. On 38, I moved 6 boards left and lofted it. So if I hadn't made good shots to start, I may have been looking at a 190 or 200 game, or maybe not even that much. But making the good shots, I was able to make the right adjustment and bowled 250. Made some good shots down the stretch. So it's crossing pair to pair. It's really crucial to make good shots to start the games off so you can make the right adjustments for the rest of the game.
And one of the big things, of course, is knowing when it's a good shot versus when it's a bad shot. So if you make maybe not the best shot and make an adjustment off that, even if you do throw a better shot, that might have not been the right move. So
correct.
Understanding that definitely crucial as well.
Absolutely.
Sarah Locker finishes up 247. Leela Ya at 171. Angelica Anthony 209. And Trista Flowers can get to 195 as we prepare for game number 3 in just a few minutes.
Looks like Lauren Hoffman she can throw one more strike in the 10th here for a 230 game. She had a 300 earlier in the week, is that correct?
That is correct. Actually, that was on the first day on the 37-foot Melbourne pattern. That was actually her first 300 ever. So how cool is that?
Wow, that is awesome.
Although my only issue was she was on the live stream pair the game before. So I mean, I know the cameras might be intimidating, but she could have worked it up a little sooner. I'm just saying that would have been cool, but definitely an awesome accomplishment.
And Lucas is no longer here, so it wouldn't have been the Wiseman jinx, right?
That's true. I mean, because I didn't realize it happened until the final shot, and then all of a sudden the crowd got a little excited, and all of a sudden it's like, wait, what just happened? And then we found out, but looks like Danielle McCune's going to be in the 250s after a nice 240 start. So,
yep.
Ho hum, another 250.
She's on a mission this week.
She is bowling unbelievably well. So there might be a chance I'll be talking to her once again at the end of the day.
I hope to have my picture next to hers again at the end of the day. That's the goal.
That's true. You guys have been sharing a lot of time on bowl.com together the past few days, so
it's always good to talk to Aaron after the block is over. Good things have happened.
That's true. That's one of John Gaines' favorite comments I've learned over the years is it's a good thing, you know, the goal year in and year out at the Open Championships was to get your picture taken.
Absolutely.
It's one of the good places to get a picture taken. You know, certain other places maybe you don't want the picture taken at, but with bowling tournaments run by USBC, the picture taken, always a good thing.
Always a good thing. I've texted a little bit with John this week. We still keep in touch. John's a great guy and still very much involved in the industry, doing coaching. I believe he's running some pro shops back home, and so he's a great person. And miss seeing John. He's not bowling competitively anymore, but he said watching me, he almost wanted to bowl. Almost. I think he's had some physical problems with his back, but it's always good to hear from John.
Certainly one of the best ambassadors for the sport of bowling, USBC Hall of Famer John Gaines. And Jeff, we're all done with game number 2 here on our feature pair, so we still got some bowling going on to our...
Brianna, is it Cote? Is that how you pronounce her? I know it's Caldwell. She just got married to to Randy. She has at least a 6-bagger up on the board right now.
That's true, and I've been going with Cody this week,
Cody?
but
Okay.
then again, I can mess up any name.
It's not hard to butcher the names.
So I've had plenty of help from the folks in the chat room when I've messed one up. They've been nice enough to let me know the proper pronunciation. So that's been nice.
Nice finish there.
233.
233. So she must have had an early open in there somewhere.
Nice bounce back though for Brianna Cody. Danielle McCune, 258. And game number 2 in the books. We'll be waiting for game number 3 in a few moments. We still have one pair over to our right finishing up. So Jeff, are you going to stick around or?
I'm going to stick around for the start of game 3, and then I need to go up to the room to do a little work.
Fair enough. Definitely preparation is key. So we'll be right back with game number 3 in just a moment or two. This is Aaron Smith alongside Jeff Fair, our men's overall leader through 3 rounds. We'll be right back for game number 3. All right, game number 3 of the 4th round of women's qualifying at the 2016 USBC Team USA Trials is underway. We are joined once again by Jeff Fair, the young, older guy from Cincinnati, Ohio, based on the field this year.
Experienced.
Experienced, yes. He's one of the older competitors this week at 34, so it's definitely a trend in the young direction here for Team USA. But obviously that experience paying off as he is our overall points leader through 3 rounds. So welcome back, Jeff.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll do a quick.
Yeah, it's very exciting to come out here and see all of the young talent. The future is very bright for Team USA with the young talent out here. So very good to see.
All right, joining us for game number 3 on 35 and 36, we have Kayla Washburn, Crystal Elliott, and Katie Stark. And over on 37 and 38, Justice Davis, Megan Hedgespeth, and Caitlin Eater. Now, Jeff, we had a slight break between games 2 and 3, and just as a competitor this week, what's that been like? Because you really don't know how long the break's going to be. You probably have an idea just looking around, but for those that last a little bit longer, is there any tricks that you can tell the folks back home just to kind of stay loose and get ready for the next game?
Yeah, the women are definitely bowling faster than the men this week. For one, they only have 3 on most pairs, and they may have 1 or 2 with 4, but the flow seems to be a little bit better, and the breaks are quicker for them. For us, it seems like you have sections of 5 pair maybe that are bowling a little bit slower because maybe a couple of the competitors on the pairs are bowling a little bit slower and slowing everyone down. But when I've had the longer breaks, I've definitely tried to stay on my feet and walk around a little bit instead of sitting down and getting cold. And then if there is a little bit longer break, I always take one of my bowling balls and swing it a couple of times to get the hand loose and get your arm loose. So I think that's definitely a good tip for those back home. When you have a little bit of a break, take one of your bowling balls and just swing it back and forth a couple of times, and that'll loosen up the joints in your fingers and thumb, and for those of you that still use your thumb, and loosen up your arm a little bit.
Of course, we've seen a lot of two-handers in the men's field throughout the week, and as you mentioned, you followed Anthony Simonson, one of the top young two-handers out here in the field this week, and it was right up there with you in the standings. And you mentioned following those kind of pairs. It's just a night and day difference with as many revolutions as they can create, and they just kind of able to burn up the pattern a little bit more.
Yep.
So that's definitely another thing as a competitor you got to watch out for, the type of bowler you're following.
Absolutely, you definitely need to be aware of your surroundings, who you're following, where you're going, and for me it was key to make sure that I knew where he was playing the lanes, so I could adjust off of that. Anthony throws it pretty hard, as most two-handers do. You have to with the revolutions that you put on the ball. So I needed to make sure that I was able to stay a little bit left of him, and that I wasn't in his traffic. For me, I had to be a little bit softer in order to get the ball to tip and go through the pins the right way. So I just needed to make sure that I was left of where he was laying it down to stay out of his way.
And you mentioned yesterday that as the day progressed, you really had to go through your full bag of tricks, as you called it, just to kind of keep up with the scoring pace, and that resulted to shot about 490 your last 2 games to move up into 12th. So, and that's another big thing for an event. Obviously, we're going through the transitions of each pattern each day, long pattern, medium pattern, short pattern. The ability to adjust on the fly like that's got to be critical.
Absolutely, it's huge to pop a couple of big games to give yourself a little bit of breathing room on the standings. The difference shooting I didn't look at the standings yesterday. The difference shooting 400 to 490 in Sterling, probably 30 spots as much as everything was bunched up. So that's a difference of leading after day 3, and I don't know, being 5th or 6 after day 3 and needing to catch up. So I definitely want to do everything I can to be a front runner and stay in the lead, have that bullseye on my back and let them chase me. So I definitely want to do everything I can to keep that lead.
Jeff's done that now for the past 2 rounds here at the 2016 Team USA Trials. So we're past the halfway point. 2 rounds left on the men's side. Once a reminder, that'll be up later today, beginning approximately at 3:45 Eastern, 12:45 local time here in Las Vegas. Does that sound right?
That is correct.
Okay, good. Because I know you'll be here for sure, so I better be here as well. So
we'll definitely be here. Practice at 3:35 Eastern.
So yeah, that's it's definitely a little bit. There's definitely a time difference. Start times depending on who starts, whether it's the men or the women, and that's kind of been a thing as well. So for the guys, they got the break last night, got the break this morning. So as a competitor, how's that break kind of going during this moment, during this tournament, with you bowling so well, having to kind of wait now versus going back-to-back squads?
Yeah, so I definitely enjoyed the back-to-back more because after leading the second day, I was glad to get back out on the lanes yesterday morning and come out and perform well again. So I'm hoping to do that again the next 2 days. But for this break, it was good to have a little bit of time. I do like bowling in the morning more. That way I kind of have the rest of the day to do whatever I need to do. And got to hang out with some of the guys a little bit. Met a few new people, new friends. So it's always good to do that. Had some good food. Vegas definitely has anything that you would want to eat. So I enjoy the food out here, and it was just really relaxing, taking it easy, and I've been keeping myself on a pretty strict schedule because I want to be ready for the early days. So even though we had the long break, I still went up to the room about 10 o'clock last night. I got up a little bit. I got up before my alarm clock went off, but I had the alarm set for 6:30. So just want to stay in time so my body knows my body's ready to bowl for the 8 o'clock days. We did have somebody come up while we were on break and mention that Shannon Plahowski shot 299. Looks like you just pulled the standings up.
I did, and she did. She moved into second, so had a 199 in game 1, 299 in game 2. I don't think she can get to 399 next game, but so she's in second at 498. Danielle McEwen into the lead with 505. Kelly Kulik in third, 491. Erin McCarthy into fourth. She had 286 with 489, and Madeline McDuff rounds out the top 5 with 487.
Yeah, looks like Stephanie that shot the 299 the first game had a tough game of 179. So the first and second after the first games, they went to their next pair and both struggled. So it's huge to be able to read those lanes, make good shots the first couple of frames, and get a read on the pair.
All right, we're hitting the halfway point of game 3, just cruising along right here.
Yeah, we've seen several splits out here, so look for these women to make some adjustments in the back half and make some good shots. Saw a good one by Megan there for a double, getting the ship righted.
Yeah, definitely a key. We saw in game 1, Shannon O'Keefe had some struggles. I believe she had 3 opens within the first 6 frames, but then was able to strike out from there to salvage a 190 game. But definitely gotta know when to make the moves, and can't be afraid to in these situations as well. It's it's a marathon, or it's a sprint for these 6 games. It goes by probably so quick for you guys, and yeah, if it goes bad, it could certainly tumble out of control quickly.
Absolutely, and mentioning Shannon striking out for 199 at the end of that game, that can be just as crucial as striking out for those big games at 250s. It's like making a 15-foot putt for par. Those are just as important, if not more important, than making those birdies and eagles. Keep the round going in a positive direction.
Well, Megan nearly lost her wrist device on that shot, but still struck, so kudos to her on not letting that thing fly.
Speaking of wrist devices, have you seen the Shafani show from this week?
I have not seen it, but I was talking with Brian O'Keefe a little bit earlier in the week, and he was telling us a little bit about some of the new episodes that have gone up, and that was one of them. So
it is pretty hilarious. I encourage all of you out there in Bowl TV, if you haven't seen it yet, take a look at Stephanie Johnson or Shannon O'Keefe's page, and I think they may even have created a Shafani show page on Facebook, but they are basically making fun of themselves and the wrist devices that they wear while bowling, and it is pretty comical.
Did sound pretty good, so absolutely, yeah.
I laughed out loud a couple of times, so it was it's one of their better skits that they have done. Well worth the 2 or 3 minutes that it takes to watch. Kelly started out with a spare 4-bagger, and she just left the 610, so she's pulling another pretty good game, and game 3 now for the women, and looks like she's still throwing urethane.
Yeah, definitely an option. The big thing they see in international competition, a lot of foreign countries really rely on urethane for pretty much every event. So they've that's certainly transitioned over, and they've made the adjustments because they've had to if they want to continue to have Team USA taking home gold medals. That's been a big thing. We saw that at the 2014 World Bowling Men's Championships. The Korean team put on a show.
I was talking with a couple other competitors this week, and Rob Gottschall was one of them, and Team USA experience, and the South Korean teams definitely are bowling tremendously. It seems like their ball speed is a little bit lower than the Americans, some of the other teams out there, but their rev rates are high. So a little bit lower ball speed and higher rev rate. These urethane balls are really matching up on these patterns and allowing them to look right and go through the pins correctly. So I think that's a huge difference between the South Koreans and the Americans is ball speed.
Ball speed very crucial here, especially on these short patterns, and we're going to see, I guess, off to our right, Caitlin Johnson throwing a few strikes in a row. She makes it, I believe she had a spare in the second frame, so 5 in a row for her off to the left of our feature pair. Nice shot from Crystal Elliott, bouncing back from an open in the 6th. We'll see if Justice Davis on 37 can connect for 3 in a row.
Looks like that's a urethane ball. Got it going away from the head pin a little bit, and just never read the lane.
And that's That's what we heard Shannon was using. That's what she started off using at least. Was a urethane ball and continued to use that to get to 299 in game number 2. So.
Erin McCarthy, she's throwing a urethane ball as well, and she's right on 200 pace had an early open and a couple of strikes in the 5th and 6th. She's just off of the TV pair on 39 and 40.
So Jeff, any added pressure coming to the TV pair? I mean, it hasn't been. So. It hasn't for you, but
yeah. I mean, people that haven't bowled on live stream before, I'm sure it's definitely a little added pressure, but you really just need to block it out. I've had fun with it because I know there's been a lot of people rooting me on back home, and my wife's Patty's been sending me pictures of the kids. Addie and AJ have been watching intently when I've bowled, so I just, for me, it's been wanting to perform well for everyone back at home. So I'm definitely feeling the love. I've had a lot of nice text messages and Facebook messages, so hoping to keep it going here these next 2 days. But no, I haven't felt any added pressure on.
I was gonna say, it definitely hasn't looked like
stream.
it.
Yeah, in fact, I'd like to bowl on the live stream according to my scores here. I think I've bowled 250 both times on the live stream pairs, and just off of the live stream pair the first day I had 260. So these have been good pairs for me right in here. And I think today I'll be on 33 and 4, my 5th game. So. Hopefully I can keep that going.
Well, Jeff, we do offer a service where we'll follow you around with cameras, and for the right price, of course, we can do that and just make sure.
I would be willing to pay a pretty good amount of money right now for that.
Once again, we're joined by our men's overall leader through 3 rounds, Jeff Fair, out of the Cincinnati area.
Very nice shot right there by Caitlin Eder for a triple.
We've seen Caitlin before, a few years back. First time I saw her bowl was at Junior Gold. I think she is a student of Lucy Sandlin, the USBC Hall of Famer out of the Florida area. I remember Lucy sending me a message on Facebook about that after saying that she had worked with Caitlin, and obviously Caitlin is here at these events trying to earn a spot on the junior team. And
great. Yeah, Lucy is USBC Hall of Famer, fantastic bowler, and very good coach. I believe she's in the Bowler's Journal Top 100 coaches annually, so very good teacher Caitlin has.
Speaking of Caitlin Johnson still striking over on 33 and 34. Looking to pop possibly 280 this game. She'll be up in the 9th in just a moment. You could see her to the left of the live stream pair.
Much better shot there by Justice. She made the adjustment off of that washout, squared up a little bit. Ball read perfectly for the double, and still has a chance to strike out there for 190, just like we were talking about. Save that game and get going in a positive direction. So.
And certainly one of the cool parts about this is, possibly in other events where total pinfall determines the overall thing for as many games. We got 30 games here over the course of 5 days, and if a bad early block can kind of put you out of contention, and that still might be the case for the overall standings. It's tough to bounce back from a real bad block, but there's still the opportunity to put together a nice block here and take home a trophy and lead the squad, and that's definitely the trophies were a new addition this year, and heard some good reviews about those. So
trophies are very cool. I did not know that they were going to have those, and I saw Rhino get his after the first day, and there was a little extra motivation for me that second day. I thought the trophy was very neat, and I said it'd be nice to get one of those, and sure enough, I bowled well and pulled it out. So it was very, very nice trophy. Excited to have that. Add that one to the mantle.
And we won't mention what happened on your fill ball of the final game either, so no one has to know about that.
Wasn't the best effort. So I had thrown the first 2 strikes, and I believe I had it locked up. It was very tight, but most of the competitors that were up in the standings were all right around me, and I knew when I got the second one that I had those guys locked out. Now, if somebody would have shot a huge game to move up in the standings, they could have done that, but I knew I had the guys close to me locked out, and I was pretty far left and lofting it over the left gutter, and that last shot I kicked the end cap. I slid into the end cap and lost my balance and fouled with my right foot. So it wasn't my best moment of the week, but thankfully it did not cost me any points. So it cost me 7 pins in the overall total standings if that comes into play, but that will only come into play if there's a tie.
All right, and game number 3 nearly complete here on our feature pairs. Already in the 10th frame on both of them. Caitlin Eder unfortunately ran into a split in the 10th frame after 3 strikes in a row. She finishes with 179. Megan Hedgespeth 178. Justice Davis looking to get to 175, up on 38 right now.
Couldn't quite get that 10 out. Make the spare, go to the next pair with 175. Yep. Tough to come back from that. So make an okay shot in the 10th, leave a 10 pin, and then don't make it. She'll need to look to get out to a good start to bounce back off of that next game.
Justice finishes with 163. Double in the 10th for Crystal Elliott. Looking to get to 160. Katie Stark can get to 164, and she does.
So right now we're seeing some high scores and some low scores. There's not a whole lot of 2-0s and 2-10s going on, so it looks like you either have the matchup right now or really searching. Looks like Caitlin Johnson is going to end up with 240. She left the ring 10 and a 10th, so very good game for her. And Kelly's bowling 260.
Looks like it, yep. She'll be in the 260s. So yeah, kind of been all or nothing type of scores here.
Nice shot there by Kayla. She can bail 190 here. That'd be good. Caitlin Johnson strikes there for 248. Very nice.
Kelly Kulik's going to deliver her final shot a few pairs to our left.
Looks like she did not switch to a reactive ball there on the fill. Kind of surprised by that she didn't at least throw a fill shot with something different, but she looks like she's pretty locked in. It gives her 720s for the first 3, so she'll be
right there near
the top 3, I'm sure.
She was already in second, I believe. Third. She was in third, so yeah, she's actually closer to 750s. Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, she's cruising right along.
Cruising along.
Kelly's been consistent so far, but we really haven't had the breakout performance that we're used to seeing from her, so maybe today is Kelly's day.
She's due. You can't hold Kelly down for very long.
Very, very true.
Very nice finish by Kayla, bailing out 193. That'll give her some confidence for the next game. Looks like she's throwing a reactive ball. She's getting it to 1-2 at the break point, and it's rolling off there nicely. So that's the biggest thing that I want to see today is if I am throwing reactive, I want the ball to be rolling off the pattern and not hooking off of it. So you want to control the shape of the mid lane on the shorter patterns, and anytime you get a ball that is hooking off of the pattern, you're definitely going to be apt to leave more splits when you miss by a little bit. So that's going to be crucial, and that's why you're seeing a lot of urethane going down, because it's much more predictable, and that shape of rolling off of the pattern is much easier to create with the urethane ball. But obviously the reactive balls are going to give you a little extra hitting power that the urethanes don't. So we have to see what it looks like after practice and make the best decision. But getting the ball to roll off of the pattern is going to be key today. So that's what the competitors are going to want to look for.
All right, some great insight there from our men's overall leader through 3 rounds, Jeff Fair, giving some insight on what he's hoping to see later today on the short pattern. We're all done with game number 3 here behind our feature pairs. Jeff, game 4?
I'm going to go up.
You're going to head up?
Need to go and do a little bit of work, answer some emails and make a few phone calls, and get ready and get some lunch before, and I'll be out here before you know it.
All right, Jeff. Well, we appreciate you stopping by for a few games here on Bowl TV and just chatting with us, and I'm sure everyone in the chat room and watching online has enjoyed it as well. So best of luck to you today, and we'll see you on the lane soon.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
welcome to game number 4 of the 4th round of women's qualifying at the 2016 USBC Team USA Trials. We just had our men's overall leader through 3 rounds, Jeff Fair, join us for a few games. Jeff's getting ready to prepare for their 4th round a little bit later today. So we got a few more games to go here on the women's side. As soon as standings are up, we will let you know. Joining us on 35 and 36, we have Jordan Newham, Heather Aridi, and Sydney Brummett. Over on 37 and 38, Natalie Koprowitz, Debbie Ayers, and Julia Bond. Julia Bond and Sydney Brummett have already earned their spots on Junior Team USA for 2016 based off of their performances at the 2015 Junior Gold Championships. Also bowled collegiately Brummett at Wichita State. And Bond was part of the 2015 NCAA National Champions with Nebraska. Scores are up through game number 3, and as Jeff and I mentioned, Kelly Kulik had another big game, and that was enough to move her into the lead at 267. That gives her a 758 total for her opening 3 games. Shannon Pluhowski is in second with a 744. Stephanie Schwartz bounces back after a rough second game. She's at 714. Aaron McCarthy is in 4th with 699, and Jordan Richard also bouncing back after a rough game 2. She rounds out the top 5 at 677. A little bit further down the standing, 6th place, Danielle McEwen, 675. She had a rough game 3, managed at 170. Have a tie for 7th. Josie Ernest, our opening round leader, and Kayla Hicks, both at 673. Marina Stever from Mesa, Arizona is in 9th at 668. And Caitlin Johnson from Beaumont, Texas, rounding out the top 10 with 666. Question about what the pattern is today for round number 4. We are on the 34-foot Stockholm condition. The shortest pattern these competitors will see this week. The longest pattern will be featured in tomorrow's final round. The 45-foot Rome condition. As we hit the halfway point of game number 4, just want to give a shout out to a friend watching from back home. So welcome to Bull TV, Darren Snuckle. We appreciate you tuning in, as well as everyone here on Bull TV. We've had some good crowds all week in the chat, and we appreciate all the comments and questions. Of course, we enjoy getting to see great shots like that from Sydney Brummett with 4 out of 5 to kick things off. Great shot from Julia Bond, a past junior gold champion. Has spent time on junior team USA already for a year or two, as we mentioned. Has already secured her spot for 2016. Was a standout performer at the NCAA National Championships. Tough break there for Copperwitz. And once again since I really don't think we've covered it so far today, in case anyone's we really haven't mentioned it so far today, in case anyone's tuning in for the first time. A total of 12 spots will be awarded for both Team USA and Junior Team USA for 2016 on the Junior Team USA side. 6 spots have already been determined through the 2015 Junior Gold Championships. That's how Bond and Brummett have earned their spots. The other 6 spots, however, will be handed out on both the boys and girls side, with based on the overall performances here, the top 4 in the youth standings for both the boys and the girls will receive automatic spots on the team. So that covers 10 of the spots. The final 2 spots determined by the National Selection Committee based on performances at either this year's Team USA Trials or the 2015 Junior Gold Championships. So that's how it works for the junior team. For the adult team, all 12 spots will be handed out tomorrow. I shouldn't say handed out, they're earned. But similar to the junior team, the top 4 in the standings through Thursday's final qualifying round will receive automatic bids on both the men's and women's side. Along with 2 selections from the National Selection Committee, so there's 6. A total of 5 will be based off of resumes submitted by bowlers who have been on Team USA or Junior Team USA in the past 10 years, or on the top 25 in points on either the PBA or PWBA tour in 2015. And the final spot goes to the U.S. Amateur Champion. The U.S. Amateur returns after a nearly decade-long hiatus in 2016. So after Thursday's final qualifying round, the top 3 amateurs in the field will advance to a stepladder final. 2 will take on 3. Winner will advance to take on 1, and winner of that wins the U.S. Amateur title. That title also comes with a spot on Junior Gold. Nice bounce backs by Natalie Copperwitz after the chop spare in the 5th. Delivers a double. And that's how we get our 12 members for Team USA, and we're going to introduce Team USA and Junior Team USA for 2016 live on Bowl TV right after the stepladder finals of the U.S. Amateur. So be sure to save some space on Thursday night. Let's turn on Bowl TV. The U.S. Amateur stepladder is scheduled to begin at approximately 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. we'll do those matches, and then we'll just keep the cameras rolling for the introductions of Team USA and Junior Team USA. All right, 10th frame underway on 35 and 36. Jordan Newham has already recorded a strike on her first attempt. She can get to 193. Heather Day left a 6 pin on her first attempt. She can get to 181 still. Nice shot by Jordan. Jordan finishes up with 190. Heather gets to 179. I'll see if Sydney Brummett can get to 279 here. She's stepping up on 35 in just a moment. All right, all done on 35 and 36. Brummett finishes up with 257. Great game to have some momentum going into the final two. Natalie Koprowitz finishes with 193. Julia Bond, 198. Debbie Ayers, recorded the first strike in the 10th, looking to get to 182. Great shot there. She had some struggles early in the game, but has found the right combination here. And Debbie finishes up with 182 to conclude our action here in game number 4. Game number 5 coming up next. So don't go too far. We'll be right here on Bowl TV waiting for a few pairs to finish up. Then we'll be good to go. So thanks again for stopping by. 2 more games to go here in the 4th round of women's qualifying at the 2016 USBC Team USA Trials. We'll be right back. Okay, folks, game number 5 is kicking off. We'll do a quick rundown of who's joining us, and then as soon as scores pop up, we'll get a recap of where everyone's standing through 4 games. Over on 35 and 36, we have Ashlyn Hersberg, Madison Keller, and Josie Ernest. Ernest led day number 1 here at the team trials. On 37 and 38, we have Megan Kelly, Sarah Willie, and I just had a conference on the proper pronunciation of Stephanie's last name, so Stephanie Sislovich. So I apologize to Stephanie for saying her name about 15 different times so far, but I also found out that Stephanie's mom, Stacy, is tuning in, and it's her birthday, so happy birthday. And now I've written down the pronunciation on paper, so hopefully I will get it right every time from here on out. I should never forget it after this. All right, results up through 4. Kelly Kulik continues to hold on to the lead. She's at 985 for 4 games, a 246.25 average so far. Stephanie Schwartz is in second at 959. Shannon Bluhowski is in third with 948. Erin McCarthy fourth at 924. Jordan Richard in fifth, 912. That top 5 sounds very familiar. I'm not 100% sure if it's the same, but pretty darn close. Sitting in 6th place, Stephanie Johnson at 905. Josie Ernest, currently on our feature pair, is in 7th at 900. Danielle McEwen, 8th with 898. And Cindy Brummett moves into 9th. We just saw her shoot at 257. She's at 876. And Nicole Powell from Orland Park, Illinois, moves into the top 10 with 875. We're hitting the home stretch of game number 5. Already in the 8th frame now on both of our feature pairs behind lanes 35 through 38. Gold Coast Hotel and Casino features a 70-lane bowling center. We're using all 70 lanes here for the 2016 Team USA Trials. Big thanks to Mike Kaufman and his staff here at Gold Coast, helping us put on a great event. All right. 10th frame will be underway in just a second. Ashlyn Herzberg will kick things off on 36, working on a double. She can get to 213. And trips the 710 to kick things off. Megan Kelly, a string of strikes early on. She can still get to 235, and 9 pins are just not fun. Stephanie Sislevich stepping up on a 37, working on a double. She still has a 247 out there. Makes it 3 in a row to kick off the 10th. Ashlyn Herzberg finishes up with 200 on the nose. Josie Ernest can get to 213. Madison Keller working on a double has 206 still out there. Josie settles for 212. Megan Kelly in the books 222. Stephanie finishes up with a nice 236 game. It's up to Madison and Sarah now to wrap up game number 5 here. And tough break for Sarah. Definitely don't want to see that. Sarah takes the 1, and that will get her to 183. And Madison Keller will wrap things up for game number 5. Get to 185 with the strike on her fill ball. The 8 will give her 183, and that will do it for game 5 of 6 here in the 4th round of qualifying at the 2016 Team USA Trials. We are at Gold Coast Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Game 6 will be coming up next, and just a reminder that the men's qualifying round is scheduled to begin approximately 12:45 local time here in Las Vegas. So a little more than 2 hours from now. That'll be 3:45 Eastern. You can also check out bowl.com/livestream for all the scheduled times. We're going to have the cameras up here on Bowl TV. But for right now, we're going to get prepared for game 6, so everyone hang tight. One more to go in round 4. Okay, folks, the 6th and final game of the 4th round of women's qualifying at the 2016 USBC Team USA Trials is now underway. Joining us on 35 and 36, we have Anna Gross, Mary Wells, and Danielle Jedlicki. On 37 and 38, we have Jacqueline Rhoda, Megan Eaglehouse, Ellen Moeller, and Kelsey Anderson. Jedlicki is the 2015 under 15 junior gold champion. Mary Wells has spent time on Junior Team USA, looking to join the adult team now, I believe. That appears to be correct. Once again, for a reminder, anyone wanting to look up standings, lane patterns, lane assignments, and more, visit bowl.com/Team USA Trials. There's also a link in the description below the video. Go ahead, click on 2016 results. You'll find all that there. If you're looking at the standings and are wondering just what some of the information means underneath the class term, Pro obviously means professional. Y stands for youth, and JR stands for, or represents folks who have already earned a spot on Junior Team USA for 2016. So once again, the youth requirement not necessarily dependent on if a competitor is a USBC youth member or not, but it's based off of their age. To qualify for Junior Team USA 2016, participants must be 20 years of age or younger as of January 1st of this year. Scores have also updated through 5, and Kelly Kulick continues to hold on to the lead at 12-14 for a 5-game total, averaging more than 242 a game. Stephanie Schwartz still in second with 1195. Stephanie Johnson posted a big 289 game to move into third with 1194. Danielle McEwen, our overall leader, is in fourth with 1154. Shampluhowski in fifth, 1153. And a little bit further down in sixth, Aaron McCarthy, 1126. Jordan Richard in seventh, 1117. Josie Ernest in eighth, 1112. Sarah Locker in ninth place, 1110. And Sydney Brummett rounding out the top 10 with 1101. So right now taking more than 220 to advance or earn a spot in the top 10. Taking another look at the overall standings. Those are updated through each game as well, so if the tournament ended right now, this would be, or the day ended right now, this would be the point totals that everyone would have. Danielle McEwen still holding on to the lead, currently in fourth. That would give her a total of 16. Jordan Richard holding on to second. She would be at 27 points. Stephanie Johnson in third with 31 points. Kelly Kulick in fourth with 40. And Stephanie Schwartz rounding out the top 5 with 43. had a pair of 299s today. Stephanie Schwartz and Shannon Pluhowski both recording near perfect efforts. Schwartz is in game number 1, Pluhowski in game number 2. We're beyond the halfway point of our final game of qualifying for round 4 here at the 2016 Team USA Trials. Just a reminder, the men's qualifying will be coming up next, scheduled to begin approximately 12:45 local time here in Las Vegas, 3:45 Eastern. So we're looking at right about an hour and a half from this moment. So during that time, we'll talk to our overall leader. Looks like it's going to be Danielle McCune once again for the 3rd consecutive day. She's bowling well in the last game, throwing a few strikes, and as Anna gets the nice trip of the 2. Right-hander's best friend. Grab a quick lunch and then start preparing for the men's 6 games. Nice shot there from Megan Eaglehouse, putting up a double. One pair to our right, Ashley Galante working on a 7-bagger after an open in the first. She'll be up on lane 40 in a second in the 9th frame. 10th frame underway on 35 and 36. Bowling a little bit quicker with only 3 on a pair. And Gross takes care of the single pin. She can still shoot 193. Some struggles this game from Mary Wells. Can still get to 145. Danielle Jedlecki is a 195 max. We'll see her first shot in the 10th in just a second. And she delivers. One pair to our right, Ashley Galante is going to be in the 250s. You get one more strike in the 10th for 255. To our left, Kelly Belzeski, 246 in the finale. 231 from Ashley Chanel. Jedlecki finishes up with 184. Anna Gross, 192. Tough 134 for Mary Wells. Foundation frame underway on 37 and 38. Ellen Muller delivers the strike in the ninth. She can still get to 180. Jacqueline Rhoda with a spare has a max of 205. Both Kelsey Anderson and Megan Eaglehouse run a little bit high in the ninth. Ellen will kick off the 10th with a nice hit. So has 180 out there. Ellen takes advantage of the break to kick off the 10th. Throws a great shot. So she'll have that shot at 180. Jacqueline Rhoda still can get to 194. .178 for Ellen Muller, 193 for Jacqueline Rhoda. So Megan Eaglehouse and Kelsey Anderson will have the honor of finishing up qualifying here in round number 4. Anderson will go at first. She can still get to 182. Great shot to kick things off. Tough break for Eaglehouse, runs a bit high, leaves the 4-6. Just a reminder, folks, it'll be about an hour and 20 minutes until we're bowling again. Should be on time. As Megan Eaglehouse finishes up with 188 and Kelsey Anderson 172. That's going to conclude the 4th round of women's qualifying here on Bowl TV at the 2016 USBC Team USA Trials. Just one more round to go for the ladies. The guys will be on the lanes once again in about an hour and 20 minutes. So don't go too far from Bowl TV. We'll be back in just a little bit. So thanks again for joining us here. I'm Aaron Smith, signing off for now, but we'll be back soon right here on Bowl TV. Thanks again.
All right, boys,